Hi, I'm Descent, and I'm just gonna get right into the video. So, I'm pretty sure I still need to explain what star hoppers are, but I'm not going to do that today because I didn't draw any star hoppers. These are, these, four that you can see on screen right now are the apprentices of the Fool, who is a star hopper, but we're not talking about them. The one I'm coloring right now, her name is Yuna. And it is a combination of the word luna, which is moon in Spanish, and yume, which is dream in Japanese, because she is half Japanese, half Spanish, and she is a daughter of the moon, and she was rescued by the Fool. She was, trapped in this little, pretty dreamland to be a daughter of the moon, and do these really, really boring things where she just has to sit there and, have a gravitational pull, be pretty. I don't know how to explain it. Sing the moon's songs. It's a very, very boring, very, very sad life. And so she was rescued by the Fool, and she was raised by the Fool, as she always does with all her apprentices. She was probably rescued around the ages of 13 to 14, and she became an idol. That is what she wanted to do with her life, and I don't know, that's what she did. That she became an idol. I just realized I haven't said what I'm actually doing right now. I'm filling in pages in my sketchbook because I really, really want to do a sketchbook tour once I'm finished, and I'm technically almost finished, as in I've drawn on every page in the sketchbook. However, there are a lot of blank spaces in the sketchbook, and so I am working on putting, drawings, doodles, whatever, in them, and this was a blank space. I know that, I'm coloring a sketch right now, but the sketch didn't exist before I started doing this. Same with the doodle on the other side, but I unfortunately didn't record that one, so you're not going to see much of it. This is all you're going to see of it. But I will tell you about the characters over there, because there's not much more to tell you about Yuna. I haven't done much with her yet, so the three over there are actually around the same age as her. I drew them, younger than they are in the story, because I like drawing characters as baby versions of themselves. Their names are, I doubt you remember their names. I made a post about them a while ago that had their names on it. I don't think that even if you saw that, you'd remember them. And I don't think that the majority of the people watching this are going to have seen that post. But, their names are, what are their names? Pax, he's my little baby, Pax, Persimmon, not Persimmon. I know that Persimmon is a word, and I know that Persimmon's name is spelled similarly to Persimmon, but it's Persimmon. Persimmon and Dander. They are my three little babies. Pax is the one with the headband, Persimmon is the fishy person, and Dander is the sweet little baby asking the question. They are all specifically, they were all also apprentices of the Fool, but then they became priests of the Fool. I will explain this since, I did draw them. Priests of the Fool are, well, not just priests, but priests of a star hopper are basically, so you can, follow a path of a star hopper. That's, basically worshiping them, and then you get all these cool, things that the star hopper gives you for, worshiping them. You get their blessing, you get, access to their facilities and stuff. You get the opportunity to, if you are really dedicated, become their priest, which, not everybody wants to do, but if you want to do that, that's how you do that. You have to follow their path. So the priests, they get a lot more blessings, and then they basically act as like the hands of the Star Hopper. They are doing the Star Hopper's will, and they're usually a lot closer with the Star Hopper than any mortal usually would be, because they talk to them a lot because they're doing their will. They live with them. If you ever want to meet a Star Hopper, the best way to do that, like the best way that you guaranteed will do that, is to just become a priest of that Star Hopper. Those three obviously had already met her because they are the Fool's apprentices. She raised them, and then they were like, okay, well, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but I know that I really like serving the Fool. I'm really good at that. I'm gonna become a priest, which nothing wrong with being a priest. So that's what they did. Now I'm drawing another one of the priests. She's also one of their apprentices. There are priests of the Fool who are not her apprentices, but I'm drawing the apprentices right now because I like them. This one is not aged down. She is a little baby. Her name is Isenma, and she is a little Oni girl, and I really love her. And she's like kind of evil. Not purposefully, but like, Oni eat people, and so that's a struggle of hers where she's like trying not to eat people, but that's still something that she wants to do. She's an Oni, and Oni eat people. And sometimes she does eat flesh. Yeah. She doesn't kill people, though. She doesn't kill people. After she was rescued from the Fool, she stopped. Well, I don't think she ever killed people. She was really young, but she's never killed anyone. She has eaten flesh that she has been given by not the Fool, but by the Star, who is another Star Hopper who's really close to the Fool, who also likes to eat people. Anyway, they are. I love those four. They're my little babies. They are all traumatized. Every apprentice of the Fool is traumatized in some way. That's kind of like why the Fool apprentices them. She chooses specifically unfortunate people unfortunate children who she thinks, or not who she thinks, but like who she can see they don't have a future where they are in life. They don't have a potential to rise from their circumstances right now. And so she's like, I have a lot of potential that I am not using. And so she gives them her potential. She rescues them. She raises them as her apprentices. And then they're free to do whatever they want in life, because now they can. That's cool. Now I'm finishing off a little comic thingy that I did a long time ago. It was just a single page thingy about the Star and the Fool. I'm still not going to tell you much more about them, but I will tell you that they're very chaotic. I think I've definitely drawn the Fool the most. You've probably seen them a lot because I love to draw them because they're my favorite. The Star and the Fool are like sisters. The Star is also known as Summer. She's the one who has that beautiful long black hair. And if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, I did a speed paint of them a while ago that I'm really proud of, and it is up on my channel for you to watch. It doesn't have a voiceover though, so it's a little more boring, but it's still a beautiful speed paint, I would hope. If you don't think it's beautiful, don't tell me that, because I worked hard on it. And I'm also wondering if people like this kind of content, or if you would prefer if I just did the thing I usually do, where I post this as shorts with, music, or just post, this longer video with music. I don't know. Do you find my voice annoying? Do you find my, speaking habits annoying? I know I keep, using filler words and saying, a lot, and, having pauses I'm not reading off a script or anything. I'm just talking while I watch the video, so I'm trying to fill in the space, but then I don't know what to talk about. But okay, I'll just talk a little bit more about the Star and Fool since I'm still drawing them. They're kind of like sisters, siblings. They're not actually blood related because Starhoppers aren't born, but they are what's called a Starhopper duo, where they're pretty much born together. You could call them twins, kind of. They are, a Starhopper duo. They're considered one of the more powerful Starhopper duos. And together, alone, so the Star is a lot more powerful than the Fool. The Star is literally, the Star. She's very, very powerful, but together they're both extremely powerful, and even the Star is a lot more powerful with the Fool, because specifically, in battle and stuff, she doesn't do any defensive moves at all. She didn't learn them. She's not interested in learning them. She wants to just attack people. And, the Fool, who's very mobile, will defend her. Now I'm drawing more Starhoppers, so I guess I'll talk a little more about them. This is one of their greatest allies, and you can't tell that yet because this was a sketch that I was finishing because I really liked the perspective in it. And so I started to, work on it a little bit more. And I got really, really frustrated with, the angle of the back. And I ended up, turning the camera off to try and figure it out. But then I literally figured it out, 2 seconds later. So, but this is another Starhopper. Their name is The Mask. Oh, did I ever tell you? The Fool and the Star's names, their mortal names, are Eerie and Summer. This character, The Mask, their mortal name is Facade. Not Facade. Facade. Not spelled like facade. It is F-A. The A has a little, line on top. K-A-D-E. Yeah, I know. I like making weird names. Facade. They're special things. So Starhoppers, they're like gods. Did I ever say that? They all have unique pupils, and they can't change their pupils so that they can't pretend that they're not gods. The only person who can change their pupils that's a Starhopper, they can't even, put in contacts or something to cover them up. It won't work. There's no way to hide them unless you, wear something to hide your eyes, but that's super suspicious because, especially, if there's no reason to be wearing sunglasses right now, why are you wearing sunglasses? You're acting kind of funny. Are you a Starhopper? Is there a god amongst us? The Mask's thing is that they can change their pupils. They can put on a mask to be anyone. They're a really good actor, and because their whole life that's been their thing of wearing a mask. They kind of have identity issues. They don't know who they are. They have a way to solve that. They really hate being the Mask. It's kind of torturous where your whole thing is that you're not you. You can just be anyone. And so you're not really a person, huh? And so, that's a torturous existence. They don't want it. They want to, this is spoilers. I don't think I've even told my friends this, so I'm not going to tell you, actually. But they want to change that, okay? They want to change that they are the Mask, and I'm not going to tell you how they plan on doing that, but I am going to tell you they have a plan, and it is possible, because they're very, very smart. And they are allied with the Star and the Fool, and the Enchantress, who I've also drawn here, but I doubt you remember, unless you are, Kurt. Kurt probably remembers the Enchantress, because the Enchantress, that was my favorite character back when me and Kurt would make, stories together and stuff. Kurt has technically, Kurt has influenced this world. Anyway, Now I'm drawing dragons, but the camera is blurry, so you can't really tell. I'm just kind of finishing off this one page because it didn't need it. I could have left it as it was, but I like drawing dragons. I saw potential. I also fixed this person who was... I just wanted to fix them. I don't know. I love drawing dragons. I wish I drew more of them on my channel, but I kind of I used to draw them a lot more, but then, I saw all this stuff online about, you can tell when a kid read Wings of Fire, by, how they draw dragons, and I was like, oh, man, that is so true for me. My snowshoes dragons, that's what I call the way I drew dragons, which I still draw them very similarly, but they don't look exactly the same as how I used to draw them. But I called them snowshoe dragons because every time I draw them, the way that I did the paws made them look like they had snowshoes, because they'd always have white paws. Anyway, I was like, oh, that you just called me out, man. And so I have been trying to change the way I draw dragons to draw less from Wings of Fire, because I love Wings of Fire, and I don't think there's a problem with, being able to tell that someone read Wings of Fire or that kind of style. And it's not like my style looks like everybody else's just because you read Wings of Fire doesn't mean you draw in a specific style. I have been in the fandom ever since, I was little. That's how I got into the animation and meme, animation, not just memes, animation, speed paint. That's how I got into the art space online when I was little. They certainly do not all draw the dragons the same way, but you can tell that they are, they, even if they're not drawing Wings of Fire dragons, you can tell. And I just want to draw dragons a little differently because I love Wings of Fire dragons, but I want mine to be a little less Wings of Fire, a little more, I'm gonna eat you. This is also the star and fool. The star kissing a little kitty cat. The fool in a washer because half the time she's a doll. Yeah. And I successfully did it. I made it 17 minutes. I filled in the space. There might be a lot of ums and filler words. But I did it. Did you like this? Did you even watch all of this? I'm sure that not a lot of people are going to watch all of this. I have a very small channel, but I would hope that some people do. Do you want me to make more of this? Some people? If you do, please tell me in the comments. If you don't, I don't know. Please tell me in the comments. Tell me, maybe give me suggestions. Would you want something like this but shorter? Do you want me to just keep making shorts? I should probably finish the animation memes that I need to work on. Would you rather I post more about my OCs or about the fandoms I'm in?